cavalry, infantry, officers, and everybody else wore pretty much identical uniforms. But let's go over all of them. This right here is a pretty good representation of what they wore. Let's start out with the classic infantryman. If we take a look at his garrison cap, it's nearly identical to the one worn in World War II. Going down the uniform a little more, we'll run into the ammo belt. Now, it may seem like there's nothing changed, but there are actually some differences between the World War I belt and the World War II belt. This right here is the World War I belt. As you can see, it looks a tiny bit different than the World War II right here. Now, it may not seem like there's any difference, but if you look hard enough, you can definitely see the difference. Now, let's get back into the details of the infantryman. Now, this little satchel that you can see that he's wearing is the M17 gas mask bag. And this right here is what the gas mask actually looks like. Warning, these gas masks contain high amounts of asbestos in the filter, so if you put it on, do not breathe it in. And I would even recommend if you don't even put it on. Alright, back to the infantryman uniform. Now, I'm not exactly sure what bag this is, but if I had to take a guess, it's either the M1902 Medical Corps bag, or it's either the AFS bag. Alright, moving on. This right here is the 1903 Springfield. This is the common rifle used by almost every single American infantry soldier in the Great War. Now, one of the cool things about this rifle is that it was actually used somewhat by American soldiers in the Second World War. Now, if we go down a little bit more, we'll see these little things that look like chicken legs over the pants. And I'll tell you what these are. These are called puttees, and they are the legging wraps that would go over your pants during World War I. If we go down a bit further, we'll notice these. These are the shoes, also known as the boots. These were worn by the infantrymen in World War I. This right here is the back of the soldier. He's got his trench coat wrapped, and also the meat pouch, which goes on the M1910 haversack. Next up, we have the doughboy helmet. This right here was worn by almost every single soldier in the entire war. We can see his shovel handle thing, and we can also see this little bag. And you know what this is? This is the pack tail. I don't know why it was so dramatic, but this is just a little bag that goes on the M1910 haversack. If we go over a little to the right, we'll notice this little thing, and this is the M1910 canteen. It is pretty much identical to the one used in World War II. Now, one thing you will notice is that the uniform is kind of unseeable, so I'll show you it. This is the M1917 tunic. This is an olive drab color, but the color that they're wearing is a lighter shade. Now, you may notice that the collar is turned upwards, and this is because of two reasons. One, it was the fashion back in the day, and also for practical reasons. This right here is the M1917 trousers, also known as the breeches. These were the trousers worn by the American soldiers in World War I. That right there is the infantry uniform. But now let's go over to this little guy right here. This soldier appears to be the cavalry or an officer. But let's go over what he's wearing. Now, the first thing that we notice is that, you guessed it, he's wearing the doughboy helmet in action. Now, for some reason, he's wearing two belts, but this is to hold up his equipment. Right here is the M1910 holster. This is holding the M1911. But wait a second. Isn't that a revolver handle? Whatever. This is what the M1911 looks like. And this is it firing. This guy is also wearing the M17 gas mask bag. This right here looks like a compass pouch. One thing you will notice is that he's wearing something different. And these are his leather leggings. This right here is the M1910 pistol belt. These right here are the pistol pouches. And that is the uniform.